just get you on the prop. There we go. Sorry about that. I was on the wrong camera there for a second. Just bear with me for 2 moments while I get everything set up and ready to go. So who have we got so far? Joseph, hello. Travis, hey Travis, good to see you. One other thing I've got to do is right. That should be good. Right, let me sorry, you'll have to bear with me. I'm a little bit off kilter today. I don't know why. Possibly the fact that I was up till early. I was watching Lee trying to fix the Series X, which was a really actually really interesting issues with it. But yeah, so right. Tell you what, I'm not going to waste any time today because I have got a pile of things next to me. So let me get rid of that. That is. Hang on. Tangled wires. Just give me a second. That should do it. Right. Right. Who else have we got? Hello, Tabs. Henry. GeForce. Chris. Good to see you. Right. Let's flick you over. Right. I've got a couple of bits in today. I've got some controllers. I've got one that's water damaged, one that's just not syncing. I was actually quite impressed. The customer brought me his console as well because I said it could be a console issue. But I'll have a look at those. So I've got those to look at. I've got an OG PS4 that needs a, well, I was told it needed a service and the disk drive looking at. Turns out the customer decided to take it apart and handed me a bag of screws and went, it's overheating. Now I've shared this pic on, it was the thumbnail, but yeah, those are the heatsink clamp screws, the APU clamp screws, sorry, in that bag. So that's going to be an interesting one. And the other one I've got is a Xbox One X. That was originally the overheating issue that I had a few weeks ago. I did on video. At the time I changed the heatsink. It was the one with the, actually had the hole in the heatsink. Now at the time I didn't change the fan because I didn't think it needed it. Customer has stated that it's still making noise and stuff. It's not as bad as it was, but it's still quite noisy. So I'm going to have a look at that, see if putting in a new fan, well, a donor fan will help and bring the noise down. I said, you know, as in labour will be covered under warranty because it's still presenting the issue, but with regards to parts, that's the only thing I'll charge for. So, because obviously it's in addition to the fault that was there, if it is that that's causing it. Obviously, if it's the heatsink that's gone again, which I hope it's not, because this console's will have killed 2 heatsinks then we'll look at other options. But, yeah. Just trying to think where I'm going to start with the controllers, I think, today. It's not something I normally do on live stream, is controllers. Well, as in, sort of thing. Seems to have been a lot of stuff I've bought in recently. Yeah, customer I did, well, customer did give me his whole console as well, because I did say to him there could be an issue actually with the console with it syncing, but he was saying it wasn't connecting via the USB cable. So now what I've got to do is find a cable that I know works. There we go. Right, I don't need his HDMI cable, so we can get rid of that. I will whack this through the capture card. So we can all see what's going on. Now, I don't actually think there is a fault with the console, but I do actually think it's a fault with the controller. But it's always nice to check. I don't actually need either of his cables. Back a second to do with a bit of a clean, I will say that, but he's not booked it in for a service, so I'll give it a dust and stuff. What I'll do is I've got a known good controller. Make sure this one actually turns. Yeah, this turns on. Got a known good controller. Ooh. Right, don't worry about the image on the capture card. I actually think that's my capture card, not the let me just double check that's actually the capture card and that's not my right. You guys are not going to be able to see this at the moment, but maybe yeah, no, that's okay. Give me a moment. So we've got whatever that signal could be nothing, could be something. So at least I know the actual console works. That's not an issue. Right, there we go. Well, at least I'm getting all the technical difficulties out at the beginning of the stream. Yeah, I've got it, Lee. Cheers, thank you. I've just spotted what should be coming back any second. It's all right. I was messing about with stuff and unplugging things, plugging things back in, and my whole system just went, nope, I don't like that. Oh, I hate bloody PlayStation 4. Why won't you shut off properly? Right. Yeah, so what I was saying was, customers brought 2 controllers in. One that doesn't sync, which I actually think is a charge port issue. I want to change that first and see if that resolves it. If it's still nothing, then I'll look into that. This one had water in the port, which I think, again, possibly charge port issues causing no work. But I know that this controller does work. Now what I need to do is plug it back in, so I can actually turn it off properly and shut it down properly for the customer, so he's not having to. Let's see that. Oh, you stupid idiot. Oh well. We'll try this for a second time. But, right, well that is... I can't even move that. Well, I'm going to have to test it anyway in a bit, so there we go. Shut down and rebuild the database and everything later. Right. Yeah, it's sorted. It was restarting anyway. I'm not going to sit here messing around with it for hours. It's going to get a full test before it goes out the door anyway. But as in, I'll turn it back on and use his console to make sure. Right. Turn those off. Yeah, so I've got a few in. Good sign is it still turns on. I just hope it's not the Bluetooth. Screwdriver is shocking. Bear with me for a second while I find a need a bit more light, I think. I think I was using a Y, you know, one of the Y shape bits. It was definitely wasn't working properly. Yeah, no, don't know who's decided to turn the thermostat back up again today, but well, this controller's never been apart, so There we go. Oh. I am hoping this will be as simple as changing that in the back there. If not, then we have got some other options, but I need to figure out what it is first. So, looks like a 040 board. Hey lads, hey ho. My eyesight's as good as ever. Put on with me. Sorry, just bear with me for 2 seconds. Just do a bit of zoom. Because I can't read the numbers on these boards. No, it's not that one. 055. Charge ports. Now, hopefully, in here somewhere, I will have. No, maybe not. I do have one that came in today as parts. Let's see, I know this one has got no power. It's probably, to be honest with you, it's probably just the battery, but we will see. I do have some ports, but I don't tend to keep them in very often. Or charge boards, and I just swap the whole board out. The cost of the board, I think they're about, well, they range from about £1.50 to about £3 each, depending where you buy them. And to be honest with you, with the work that goes into actually changing the USB port, which is the actual, I find is a lot of the time is the issue. With these, so it's this is one I bought in off eBay as a spares and repairs, which 9 times out of 10 I tend to use as parts and then go back and do the rest. That's different. Typical, isn't it? I think that's the 0. That's a different one. Good job I've got a few controllers that I'm not too... Oh, hang on. Before I crack that one, I have got one controller about that. Don't think that... I think that's... No, that's not a... Let me try this one. It's right, it's trying to remember what boards go in what controllers, because there's like 5 different revisions, and then you've got your special edition controllers where some of them they use some parts from one revision, and another special edition where they use different parts from a different And I'm sure the camo controllers are 050. And to be honest with you, if I've got a working charge port in here, no, I will take the board out and double check though. No, because that's on the wrong side. No, doesn't look like I've got any of those in at the moment. Let me see. Boxes of controller parts and box. Xbox with a little bit of PlayStation by the looks of it. Nope. Wrong side. JDS 055. Slightly different design. Hopefully that works. Yeah, no, that's it. Which boardly, which controller? I'm mainly looking for the connector to be on the right side of the board. You know, as it lays like that. Because all the other ones I've got, they all lie on this side, and it's a long stretch over the battery to get the connector from there to the other side of the controller. I have got some longer ribbon cables, but to be honest with you, this is the first time I've touched a PS4 controller in quite a while. I think it's been a good few months since I've actually had my hands on a PS4 controller. What I'll do, plug this, set the customer's PS4 up. Hopefully this will solve the issue. What I want to do is hit that button and make sure it actually... So we've got it turning on, which is a good sign. Well, trying to pair anyway. Right. Well, Yeah, it was the charge board. That was a nice simple one. See, hang on, put that on the wrong right. As you can see, this is the one. I'll give the controller a full once over. Yeah, nice easy fix that. Usually if something goes wrong with this, it just kind of cuts out the rest of the board, I've noticed. The controller will work without this being attached, I found at times, or with this being an issue. But I recommend customers getting the chargers that actually charge from down here, because I find this a lot more secure. I've actually got one. One of these docks where you've got the section there and the controller fits on like so, and then you push it down and it makes connection. It's not plugged in at the moment, and this actually charges through the bottom socket, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's about £13 from Argos, and the amount of customers that I've actually saved some money with them, because I'll quite happily change the charge port, but the charge port will go again in a couple of months, so they're constantly paying out. Whereas this way round, they come to me, they pay the charge port to replace the charge port once, and it will last. And I've told them only use the charge port for syncing to the console. Sorry, the USB port for syncing to the console. That port there, the charging on one of these, and it will keep, because these will condition the batteries as well. They put a nice low charge in, whereas those, it's just one constant sort of current, isn't it? And these also stop charging as well. They've got a smart thing in where they'll actually stop it from charging when it gets to a certain level. But yeah, no, that's all connected. So that was a nice simple fix for him. I will hook, after I've done this, I will hook this one up to the computer and obviously make sure that it's all working properly. So turn off PS4, which will also turn off the controller. But yeah, no, that was a nice easy one. Oh, Lee, that's what I was going to say. I don't know, I know you're there sort of listening, but the other day when I mentioned I had issues with my my multimeter, while this is all shutting down and stuff, I figured out what the issue was, and it wasn't the multimeter. It was actually my leads. Now, I bought this set off Amazon. The simple fact, you can add attachments onto the leads. Well, the connectors themselves, it's only a slight difference, but these connectors are slightly longer than these ones. Well, these ones don't quite make good enough contact. So that's why I was having so many issues with my multimeter. So I now have to use it like that. But it works. Saved me buying new leads. That was the cause of all the times I couldn't get a decent reading out of my multimeter. But I don't know what made me think to actually go, I know, I'm going to stick my, oh no, wrong way around. I'm going to stick the leads in the wrong way around. But make sure I have put that in the right way. Yeah, pins down. But yeah, so that was a nice easy fix. Then again, it's going back to what I oh, please say this isn't one of these stupid boards that's not going to fit. There we go. So that centre post is always the issue. Yeah, no, it's quite nice to actually get back to something nice, because I started with just doing the odd job on PlayStation controllers about 12 months ago. That's how I got started in this. And then I came across Lee's videos a few times, and from there, kind of, oh yeah, the rest is history, really. Ooh, hang on a second, Carl, you're getting ahead of yourself. Rebuilt the light bar. Oh. Unplug that battery for a second. It keeps turning the console on. I hate the length of these. Thing is, the connectors are just bloody long enough to get it in. But if you get one that's just a little bit longer, which I did, I thought, oh, I'll be clever, I'll buy some that's slightly longer. They don't fit in the controller very well. To be honest with you, this controller feels pretty new, to be honest. And I don't mean the condition of the actual housing. I mean the like the thumbsticks, the triggers, everything feels good in it. But I will hook it up to gamepad tester and I like, and I'll give it a proper test before I do anything with it. Yeah, no, it was good fun last night in chatting stuff. It was nice to actually sit there and not just learn, but yeah. Well, there was a lot of information going around, trying to absorb as much as possible. But I've got a better understanding of reading schematics and stuff now. It makes so. But no, I appreciate that, Steve. Last night when you were reading through it, it actually may not. I may not have seemed like I was taking it in, but it was definitely starting to get the hang of it once you were pointing things out of where things go and how, you know, stuff like that. But just make sure this turns on again, because I've had that before. It is synced with the console, but normally you can feel sort of slop in the analog sticks, but they actually feel really smooth. I don't think that this has had much use at all. Right, I'm just going to turn that console off. Right. Second one, I'm not going to even attempt to plug this one in to see if it does anything, just for the simple fact it is water damaged. So this may be a case of, this is going to be, I may just say to the customer, it'd be cheaper to replace the two boards in here and see if we can get it working. Basically having a new controller, as long as I have got the boards. Because I am running low on stock. Parts at the moment for PS4 controllers. But then again, as I said, I don't really get that many in. I had a, when it came to schematics and stuff, and the stuff you were going over last night, I had an understanding of reading them and making sense, and you know, it is very much a case of you follow the lines to where they go and stuff like that. But actually taking that information and translating it to the actual circuit that's in front of me on the motherboard, that was the bit that I, you know, sometimes struggle with. Right. I unplug that. Luckily, I should have a board for this. Yeah, no, it's definitely, Henry, it's definitely a good way of doing repairs. I've actually got. Oh, it's under the sticker, that's why I can't see it. Oh, in it. Right, you know to bring out the camera so I can see what I'm doing. Zero 040. To be honest with you, I'm hoping that the rest of the board, because the rest of it actually looks okay, and I'm just hoping it's the board that's taken the brunt of it. So my plan is, if I can find my touchpads, ribbon cables, lots and lots of ribbon cables. I don't know if this is actually going to work, but we will see. Nope, so it's a bit more than at the moment. It's a bit more than just a charge port issue. But battery's probably gone, and want to whip the board out and have a look and see, as I have said, I've been quite ruthless with this one with the customer, with it being water damaged. I've said, you know, it's a good chance that it's not going to be economical to repair, just for the simple fact that it's water damage. By the time I've repaired parts and placed parts and stuff, it's going to get expensive. And yeah, that's not, I think the battery went pop. I don't know if you guys are going to see this very well. The battery lies in that position, and just here there is an absolutely massive burn mark. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take a picture of that. It's taken out the light bar, you know, it's burnt the light bar, I should say. There's let me see if now the battery's disconnected. Will this do what it's supposed to? It could be the battery as well that's causing the issue. Nope, 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 no, 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 no. There is a massive short on this board somewhere. Got a little bit of corrosion on that other side, but those two chips, well, that chip, I'll pull it up here. Lee will probably be able to tell me that, but that chip there, which I think is one of the main chips on here, as soon as I plug any sort of power into this, that gets warm. So to be honest with you, what I may do is I may have a look and see how, you know, rather than thinking it, just going to charge the customer sort of part X on a controller. The board's no good, but there's a few parts within this that I could use. So yeah, but I don't really think that this board is economical to repair. You know, and that got hot fast. So it's either the battery's gone, it's got wet, shorted out, battery's gone nuclear, which has then caused damage to this because of the heat has killed that chip, I would say. Or got wet, shorted out, sent voltage through, shorted battery out, battery went, I don't like this. But that's my theory behind it. And I don't really want to repair that one because I don't actually think it's going to be beneficial. I think if I did get it working, I'd probably have issues. So what I might say is I will have a look at, I've got this controller and I have got another one. I've got these two controllers. I will give the customer the pick of them and we will go from there. But yeah, I am not going to, that one's definitely going to be a no fix. Just for the simple fact is that board, I could probably, I wonder if I've actually got, pretty much changing the whole, no, I'd rather just change the whole thing out and then test the parts later, because there is a few bits in here that I can reuse. So what I need is a tub to put this in. Well, at least we've got one out of those two controllers sorted, which is a bonus. I'll have a word with the customer with regards to that one. See what he wants to do. I really don't think it's economical to repair that, to be honest with you, and I don't think the customer would go that far. So I've got other controllers I can look at selling him, so I'll be happy with that, because he'd probably end up paying less to buy a replacement controller than he would for me to order parts and actually repair it. Now, if he wants me to, that's up to him. But hockey dokie, on to the next one. One thing I am going to do is to just shutting that PS4 down because I need the cable for the capture card. Right. Next job on the list. I've actually got multiple jobs today, so I might actually be streaming for a while. This one came in as a overheating issue and a disk drive issue. And this is the one that came with the screws. Now I have popped this cover off, and as we can see, it is rather dusty. But I thought, problem I've got is heatsink APU clamp screws are in here, in this little bag. I need to test the console to see if it goes to a white light, and it's not clamped, so this could be interesting. Doesn't beep. Turns on. Luckily it displays, not that you can see. Right, let me put the little capture card up. So this could be a simple fix. I do need a disc. I can actually and I need a test controller. Right, the fault he says with the disk drive is intermittent reading disk, so I actually think this is going to be a new laser deck, which I won't actually be able to change on stream because I don't have one. I've got one on, I think I've got one on order. If not, I'll order it today. Yeah. Could just be that the drive needs a good clean out, especially seeing the colour for the rest of it. But while this does its thing, I will be back in 2 minutes, guys. Right, you didn't hear any of that, did you? Right, so what I was saying was it's reading the disc, but it's obviously not. Well, sorry, it's recognising the disc, it's just not reading it. So I'm guessing it's going to be the laser deck. So I will get one of those ordered if it's not already on my list to do so. What I do want to do is, because I've just turned the bloody console back on again. Over there for the moment. Hopefully. I can find the bit that I need. Obviously, this is going to have a full teardown and once over. I did actually, overquote's the wrong word. When I gave an estimate to the customer on the work that needed on this, I quoted him for a full new disk drive and a full service. On the, so when I got it and looked at it, I would be like, there's a good chance this is the issue, these are the costs, and I could actually reduce that estimate down once I woo! I'm surprised this doesn't actually surprise me, this is overheating. I always like to over egg it slightly just to cover me, because it's easier to give customers a lower price when it comes to the final price than it is to go, oh, actually, you owe me an extra X amount. So, as we all know, but it's been a while since I've done one of these. Now, I can't remember, and I'm sure somebody will point it out, if I need to actually take anything apart inside the console. Preferably not drop stuff, or the disk drive will actually lift out. I don't think so, from what I remember. Pop the power supply out. Yeah, no, I wasn't overly impressed when the customer handed me the bag and went, oh, I've got something else for you. That just makes my job twice as difficult. Now I've got to find out where the missing screws go, and if the fact that he's not put those missing screws in is what's actually causing the no power issue. Not the no power, sorry, the overheating issue. And if that's not what's causing it, then what is? Cheers, Lee. I thought I was probably missing just the one screw. I've got another one. I don't know whether those are case screws or... Yeah, all I'm doing today at the moment, to be honest with you, all I'm probably going to do in this stream today with this one is get it torn down so I can get the part number for the laser deck. So I can then look to get that ordered, and then I will carry on with this one in another stream. Oh no, it has. So what's the... So where are those from then? I don't know whether any of these go through the actual disk drive, but big freaking screw right in front of me. I must have looked at that 2 or 3 times. I'm missing something. I don't normally charge customers extra for stuff like this, but well, I'm not going to charge the idiot fee for not putting those screws back in, because they were put in, and it actually seems like it's been put together very well. It just needs a really good freaking clean. Have I just literally taken the cover off of this and nothing else? Yes. There we go, finally. Pop those 2 cables out for a second. And it should be... Move that to the side. I should be able to... What I am going to do... Oh, what, sandwich tubs come in wonderful for stuff like this. That is the... Now, I'm guessing it's that whole section that will be replaced. So KEM860PA2193. Let's have a look and see how much these are. I don't think they're expensive, so... You're not going to be able to see what I'm doing at the moment, but I'm just going on to a couple of sites just to have a look at prices for the laser deck. Well, a whole genuine Sony PS4 Blu-ray disc is $31.70. KES. Oh, this is KEM. KEM 490 Alpha. KEM 860 then. 490 Alpha. Have I got the wrong number that I'm looking at? 860. There we go. So £11.24 added to basket. Basket. Go to baskets because I need to remove some stuff from in there. So let's go delete. 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 Sorry about this, guys. I'm just logging into my account. All 16p. Right. Secure checkout. Next working day. I will be with you guys in a moment. I am just... So that's cost £18 for one of those. Which I don't... Oh, something went wrong. Okay. You know what? Just pay with my normal card. And it... Isn't it? Where's my phone? The only thing with paying online, getting the there we go, that's all sorted. So we can then bring that back up and back up. Hello, Biscuit Head. Hi, Jess. Nice to see you. Yeah, the cameras I'm using are not the best, Vlad. So, and I've got to have it at least, because the camera's about... It's about 2 foot from the desk. I've got to keep it that distance, otherwise it just gets in the way. I'm constantly knocking it. So, but Might seem a little bit counterproductive today, but what I am going to do is I am literally going to box this PlayStation up. When I come to do the full service on it, that'll be when I actually come to when I come to replace the laser deck. When it comes tomorrow, I will do the full service on it. Just for the simple fact is it's easier to do it all in one go, and I'm not chasing my tail. That can be a issue. Kind of chase yourself round and round, and then it's so what I will do is all of these parts will go into this tub and be put to one side. I can let the customer know the part's ordered and it'll be here tomorrow, so he can pick his console up on Wednesday or Thursday, which is good. Put that out of the way for the moment. So we've only had one item so far that can't successfully be well, it could probably be repaired, but I just don't think the customer's going to want to pay for that, so oh yeah, the other thing, Blad, with my cameras, they're just basic webcams. So I've got no auto or manual focus on them. It's just there. Fire trap. Yeah, if it's reading them. Where did I put that tub? Now, before anybody comes at me going, "Oh, you've pointed to the wrong laser," when I've described this, I will hold my hands up. I am not sure which laser is which, but if you look here, there's actually two lasers. One will be standard DVD format, standard format discs, and the other one will be your Blu-ray formatted discs. And they'll, because obviously one's a blue laser, one will be a red laser usually, but yeah, so you'll probably find if your console's playing games, the laser that reads standard discs will be absolutely fine, but the one that reads your Blu-rays and stuff is the one that's got the issue. But I've literally just picked this part up off of Replace Base, which is not always the most it's not always the cheapest option. There is a few other places out there. The only reason I use Replace Base is I can guarantee that it's going to be here by tomorrow, which is good for me and good for the customer. It would be nice if I could I probably can just replace the lasers themselves, but to be honest with you, with how it was sounding, although it was spinning the disc up and recognising it, it's cost me, I think it was, so what's that, 12 plus £2.40. So it's cost me about £13 for this item alone, and about £4.30 for delivery tomorrow, which I don't think's bad. And all I'll charge the customer is a basic fitting fee for it. So, and then obviously the service on top. I originally quoted about I think I originally quoted him about £75, because when I first looked a few months ago, the whole disk drive was about £35, and then obviously there'd be the service on top. But hopefully I can bring that cost down for him. So right, but yeah, fire trap, you'll probably find that that's your issue. If you decide to do it yourself and you tie it, or you can jump onto this Discord, and there's lots of people in there that will be willing to help you. On the back on the back here, it's out of focus, but there is a label, and it is the first part you need, so the KEM 860. Now, I only found that out just because I found one that matched that. And I think there's about 4 different ones of these just for the OG PS4. So, anyway, I'm starting to waffle. But I will do that in my next stream. I'll replace that. So, today's more of a, because it's Monday, is more of a bring stuff in, have a look at it, see what it's doing, and go from there. Right. Is that really only me going for an hour and a half? I mean, at this point already. I have got other bits I can do today. It's like my pile's gone from being up here, you know, to nothing now. Right, this one, as I said earlier, this one came in as an overheating issue. Came in a few months ago. I did a full service on it, and I don't know if you remember the video I did with regards to... Let me give it a second. This heatsink that I can do adapting. I can actually stand my tweezers up in it, because there was a hole, and when I separated this from the board, I heard a very slight hiss. I actually did a bit at the end of one of my videos on it. It's a very rare thing to happen, but it's the fact that it's a hole in it. So what I did was I gave the console a good service and I swapped this out. And the customer said it's not as bad as it was before. It is nowhere near that, but it is making noise again. Why do I keep doing that one? You know what, I'm going to move that one up. I'm going to move that one up there, and then move this one down here, and then still make that mistake, aren't I? There we go. Capture card. Let me rename that. Just bear me with me for a second. Capture card. There we go. Right, let's fire this up. Now, customer says it was overheated. Well, turns on. I'm not... To be honest with you, Fire Trap, it's not actually that difficult. Change, because your disk drive in the console sits like that anyway. And let me just get this the right way around. This back cover, once you've taken the screws out, actually lifts off. That can stay in the console. And then it's just a case of, once you've got that back cover off, 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, and that lifts out. Let me just pull up something a second. Let me just see how much the... because you're looking... Now, if you go to a part supplier, you or, you know, you might be able to get one cheaper. But, depending on the model, you're looking anywhere from about £25 to £35 for the actual whole disk drive. Whereas that's about £12. Right, Guys, you just have to bear with me for a second. I've just got somebody at the door. Well, I am really sorry about that, ladies and gents. It was a customer order that I had a bit of a mishap with on Friday. I sent them out the wrong controller. So, no, not that. Well, I suppose that's going to put it under a bit of... turn this off. But what was I saying? Yeah, fire trap. If you're still there, sorry. What I was saying was it's easier to... You can actually do it without removing the whole Blu-ray drive. Because that will lift out and then it's just dropping that section in. But up to you at the end of the day, if you want to just replace the whole drive. This way you can save, so what was it, £18 with postage, whereas you're going to be looking at, if you're buying the full drive, by the time you've paid VAT and postage, possibly close to £40 for it. It's a little bit of a difference. It is still powers on. It does need an update, which tells, well, she has said she hasn't used it for a while. Now I know I've not tested it to the point of it overheating, but I do. It says it's more the fan noise than anything with this. So to be honest with you, I am going to swap the fan out and see how she runs after that. I know the history of this console quite well. I've done the work on it previous. Oh, that one. There we go. I just wanted to make sure that it booted up before. I put all the screws back in. Didn't put that one in properly, but I put them all in. Is it this one? Always seen as soon as I hit that stream go live button, I get people knocking at the door and dropping things off. I actually believe the customer when they say that it's making the noise and it's not kicking off, because this is still... I've had them before where they've come back and they're in exactly the same state as when they, or they're back in the same state as when I first saw them first time round. My English is not as good as today yet. But my plan for this is to remove the screws and then swap it out. Oh, Steve, the HDMI breakout boards that you had on you had on last night, the pass-through ones. Do you have a spare one of those? If not, not an issue. I will scour the tinterweb and see what I can find. But I wouldn't mind trying to get my hands on one of those. If you do have a spare one, that is. I'm willing to pay for postage and the part itself. But right, guys, back again. I'll be back in a minute.
Hi guys, really sorry, I'm gonna have to shoot off. I've got a issue I need to deal with. Nothing serious, nothing major. I will get back on the either on the stream or I'll go into chatting stuff in a bit. Really appreciate the support, guys. I'm really sorry I'm having to do this. If you can give us a like and subscribe.